You're watching the Hurley Pro, and we're on the lookout for another quarter-finalist now, moving into the fourth heat of round 4. And what a matchup it is, an incredible lineup of high-scoring surfers. Filipe Toledo, a two-time semi-finalist here. Bede, Durbidge, a former winner. Julian Wilson, a former finalist in this contest.
Well, quick start theme.
Well, let's see what Julian Wilson can get started. Aggressive on the first turn. It just goes to show how confident Julian is at the moment, coming off the back of a victory at the last stop on the championship tour, jumping up the ratings to 5th place. Can he go back-to-back? Can he be the first surfer this season to claim 2 CT victories? An amazing year it's been. Bede Durbidge up as well. Announced his retirement just before this event kicked off. He will be surfing for the rest of 2017. Filipe also up. Oh, it's one of those little mistakes by those guys you expect to.
It was like Julian, even though his wave was smaller, much more complete ride. You see the first maneuvers here. Yeah, beautiful arc. You know, this is actually going to be a pretty good wave still for Filipe. Just even though at the fall, those 2 turns are pretty dynamic. See what Bede did on his first maneuver here. You'd have to say, unfortunate there that Bede can have that beautiful rhythm to go top to bottom. That's really where his strength lies. Although no mistakes there, he completes his ride. We can see that being a huge score. Love the innovation right there from Julian Wilson, going for the tail throw reverse on the first maneuver, and then that big deep bottom turn. You know, this wave, very difficult to ride, but see Julian can just beautiful round turns. Even has a bottom turn on a 1-foot wave. He'll literally compress. So just more of a mental bash, as we see during the break. Julian Wilson making a move on this left. You know, a little smaller inside one, but that it had some vertical face, and he goes, throws down a reverse. So nice work here, kind of turning a mediocre wave into a score. Some strategy paying off here for Julian. He's got the 2. Take a look in. You know, a smaller set wave. No one else even looked at it, but that's the advantage of having that 3rd priority. You can kind of roll the dice with these smaller waves and pretty much surf that wave as best as he possibly could. Probably surfed it to its scoring potential for sure.
One big thing about Julian Wilson in 2017, it just felt
so good to see him just keep building the pressure. Filipe Toledo is about to release that for himself on a nice looking ride here, and Jules went left and he was in and out. Nice air there as well.
An A-frame situation. Filipe sticking with the right, really projected nicely out of that first pocket, has that ability, and still manages to get a finish on a wave that's basically ankle high. So strong on those smaller waves. Bede Durbidge up now. Bede at a 6.33 on his opener. A bit more punch on his final turn, but what kind of damage did he do on the outside? We'll see in a moment. Just over 10 minutes to go here.
To ride down. Let's see Bede first. You know, kind of a similar size set wave as Filipe's. And those beautiful arcs. This time he's able to go top to bottom. I feel like this is going to be better than the 6.33 of his first wave, just because it gave him a beautiful pace and he was able to go top to bottom. He didn't have to chase down the maneuvers. And then here, sets up this first turn. High risk, but that poke of the nose to rotate around out of it. And then he is by far the best at the footwork of getting back to his board and keeping that speed to go into his next maneuvers. I mean, that's what makes him so exceptional. And of course, being able to tag these little ankle high waves too kind of helps. Such a high strike rate on those airs. I mean, it's hard to deny that. I think this is going to be excellent surfing for him. A little combo at the end there. Again, that wave was so small.
Now needs a 9.56. Bede chasing a 9.3. Julian's up with a big wall stretched out in front. Swings the tail, throws it into reverse. Aggressive with his first turn options at the moment, and on one of the best waves we've seen him on for some time. Let's see how he finishes this off, because he's throwing some fireworks at this ride and he can't quite stick it. Just under 8 minutes to go. He was on his way to a good score there. Maybe not the 9.56, but he would have whittled away Filipe's lead as Bede goes on the attack now, throwing the tail. He's unsuccessful there.
Yeah, the stumbling out of that. I mean, that wave was right up into it. Again, rotates out of it. He's got great footwork as well, because he's able to go into that next maneuver. Again, big, deep bottom turn. So much different than anyone else because of how long he hangs on the bottom and keeps that speed. But then just would have loved to see him ride out of that. And then you see that's going into excellent surfing again. You know, you see that 8+ ride show up. Bede, bigger wave, carrying a ton of speed, which he does so well through his maneuvers. Good, healthy mix, top to bottom. It's unfortunate for him, another fall at the end, which was rare for him. Oh, it does?
Right,
yeah, cool.
Right back through the fin, so it's
have a
actually
look.
pretty unique. But here we go, Filipe trying to get rid of a 7.73. And there's only 30 seconds to go. He is just alive, free, and feeling good at the moment. Wow. Just taking this little wave apart. Cramping up just watching him.
You know what's crazy is
a little air reverse there.
If you know, which again our forecast is to have it kind of start to back off even further in tomorrow. I mean, he wins this heat, which he does. It goes into tomorrow. It shrinks. His small wave. I mean, that wave right there is a perfect example of how crazy gnarly he is in small waves.
We're going to go to a quick break. Filipe Toledo is through to the quarterfinals. When we return, we'll kick off round 5 with Joe Tapel and Martin Potter.